Oh, throughout my speech, I want you guys to imagine a kid who was only 9 years old when his parents had to leave. Back in 2019, my parents left my home country, Turkey, to come to USA, which left me and my older brother and younger sibling without parents for almost 4.5 years. And looking back to these times, which affected the person that I have today and the decisions I made out throughout the years with the lack of my parents, only person that I can really say that I had impact on them and helped me become a better person was my grandmother. Growing up and being taken care of by this person made me have so much unconditional love and attention towards her, which I believe was the reason why I was able to realize and observe the way she was towards everything.
Oh.
Thanks to my grandmother, Arife, who is 64 now, who was also a person that raised me for 5 years when I was 9, I am the person I am today. And especially at such an age where I needed a role model to look up to, she was great and always will be. Having so much unconditional love and not expecting anything in return, but being so patient about everything, and working so hard to keep her family on track, my grandmother was and still is my role model to this day. First of all, my grandmother helped me become a better person by providing me love that I needed and that I would have lacked without her because of the lack of my parents. And when my parents decided to move to USA in 2009, I wasn't able to come here with them. So I had to stay back in Turkey with her, and this left my family with a decision. They either were going to take me with them, but they couldn't, so I just had to stay back for years until they could come back with me. Although it was very hard at first to accept this condition, it was really just trying to get used to it with my grandparents' helps and with my grandma's help. Not having my parents around, just to be asked about how my day was in school or any type of thing, it was really hard. It really made me feel the lack of attention and love I needed, but thanks to my grandmother, that was provided. So she was the main reason why I was able to overcome so many obstacles that I had and that were caused by this condition. And she always made me feel loved whenever I needed it. And small things such as teacher-parent conferences were required in my school when I was in elementary school in Turkey. And my grandmother, who doesn't know how to read or write, she still showed up to them just to make me feel that I had someone who cared about me, and no matter if she understood them or if she was able to participate in them, she was still providing me with that attention. Although everything felt nice because of her living for 5 years while waiting every day to go back to my family, it wasn't so easy. It could have been way harder if I wasn't able to learn how to be patient as my grandmother was. I imagine having a life partner who has worked out of state every now and then for 40+ years, such as my grandfather did. It would have been very hard taking care of 5 kids. And being in the position I was, which left me without my parents only for 5 years, wasn't that big of a deal when I was comparing it to what my grandmother had to go through with her family. So it was really just making me really patient about how she took over her problems and how she was coming over them. And handling everything around the house the way she did while he wasn't around showed me how humble she really was and how patient she was with 5 kids. And she always knew everything will happen when the time for it comes. So that made me really patient about waiting for the right time for the right things. And because of worrying about when I would be back with my family and just focusing on that, I was really just missing out on everything in my childhood, not being able to have fun, just to go out, just to play with my friends. It was really taking a lot on me. But once I was able to realize that my grandmother had her days and she had her ways to deal with things, I was able to deal with what I was going through, and I realized that it wasn't such a big of a problem and I should be focusing on my time right now instead of just missing out on everything and just letting everything just being taken away because of this one problem. And one last thing that my grandmother taught me was working hard. Just like I said, not having her husband around for most of the time. When her family moved to the city in the 70s, where we currently live in Istanbul, it wasn't as big as it was right now. In the 70s, there was only around 2 million people that lived in the city, and right now in 2020, there's about 16 million people. So it really grew over the years, and access to power, water, food, it was really hard since there wasn't a lot of people living in the city. And being at such a time when she moved in with her husband and with 5 kids to take care of, it was really hard for what she had to go through and what she had to solve on her own. While I was thinking that I was in the worst condition in life that anyone could be because of the lack of my guardians, I really realized that everything could be worse, and that I was really lucky and blessed to have my grandmother around to take care of me and my siblings. As I was listening to my grandmother went through her experiences, I realized that the position I'm in right now, with nothing to worry about, being provided with fresh food every meal, no matter her condition and age. She had a condition in her knees where she couldn't really stand up for a long period of time, but she would always make sure that we had food at the time. She would always make sure that we went out, had fun. And being 60 years old wasn't really easy for her to be taking care of 9-year-olds who were really active and just trying to do everything. When she first came to Istanbul in the 70s, she was actually carrying gallons of water in her ages, where most people are enjoying their lives. And she was taking care of 5 kids all alone, while most people had a partner to share this experience with and at least get some help. And although she had all the money she was provided with, she wasn't really able to spend it because she was always worried about what if one of the kids just got sick or something just happened out of nowhere, and not having my grandfather around, she was really just focusing on that. So that made me realize that if I focus on that, I won't be able to enjoy my time, do anything that I really want to do or I should be doing at my age right now. Smallest things that I went through compared to the situation that she went through, such as walking to school, a place where I don't carry anything on my bag, with the knowledge of my kids not being home alone, a place where I don't have to worry if anything will happen on the way back to my house. Because of the things I was experiencing and overthinking, everything seemed so hard and more complex than they really were. But I realized everything could be worse, and I learned how to work hard by focusing on my goals, while one of my family became in 2nd or 3rd place, and I started having more priorities on different things that mattered at the time. Not sure if I will be able to help you guys imagine how it really made me feel not having my parents around as a 9-year-old boy when I needed them the most, and what type of disagreements this type of absence is currently causing between us. My grandmother really helped me turn into a person maybe I never would have been without her. And thanks to my grandmother being there, I was able to overcome this time without any wrong decisions, which would have been really easy because of the environment that I grew up in and people that I had around that I could have been looking up to instead of listening to my grandparent and just going her ways. And rather than taking things that life threw at me at the time and blaming everything on them and just not enjoying anything, I was able to stick to my role model, my lovely grandmother. I'm currently a student with 2 jobs. I'm working and trying to build myself up so hard to a position where I want to be. And I don't only want to talk about my experience here, but maybe one day show my grandmother that I really did take lessons from the times that we had together. And nowadays I just take everything or everyone the way they are and appreciate and stick to the beauty of it all because of the love that was taught of me from my grandmother. Although it won't be anything near enough in return to what she has provided me with, I will make her proud by working hard and being patient, just like the way she taught me. Thank you guys for listening.